I'm the Irish guy, and right, today I'm going to take a look at every major European league and just find the one league finish. The one position where a certain club finished in this season that just looks strange to my eyes. A league position that I would have never, ever predicted for a certain club. Something that just looks odd. Right, let's go. Turkish Super League, Fenerbahce second. Yeah. I want to start off with talking about the Turkish Super League right now, because today I woke up and saw that Jose Mourinho has agreed to be the Fenerbahce manager. Please say this isn't so. As soon as I read this, I thought it was just idle, brainless gossip. But no, now Fabrizio Romano has said it. The great Fabrizio. So now I don't know what to believe. Lads, if Mourinho does become a manager in Turkey, oh, then I promise you, I'm doing a comprehensive breakdown of it next week. And honestly, I think it's probably going to be the angriest I've ever been whilst talking about Jose. Like, seriously, it's a dreadfully depressing thing to read. It's been like reading that one of the Beatles is now a supporting act on the Ollie Murs tour, just stuffed away at the back of the tour bus, not even afforded a seat, just told to squat on the lunchbox for the 4-hour trip to Norwich. But yes, video on that coming soon if that happens. But while we're here, yeah, I don't think anyone has truly appreciated the freakish weirdness that has happened in the Turkish league title fight this season. Fenerbahce just finished second. Nothing that strange, right? Oh no, oh it is super weird. Because Fenerbahce finished second last season, and so this time out, they improved their points total by 19. I'm sorry, but anybody who finishes second, if they go out and put nearly 20 more points on the board the following season, they are winning the league guaranteed. Nope. Fenerbahce put 99 points on the board. That is the most amount of points they've ever achieved in a single season ever in their history. I mean, this is the first time they've achieved 90 plus points in a season since 1989. They are just 1 point off 100. This is officially the greatest Fenerbahce team that ever was, and yet they still only finished second. This is a club who have not won the league since 2014. This is like when Liverpool, when they were starved of a Premier League title, they put 97 points on the board in 2019 and still didn't win it. Lads, 31 wins from 38 games, 99 goals scored in the league. They started the season with 10 wins in a row. They've lost only one game all season. This is ridiculous. How do you put up 99 points and still lose the league by 3 points? I'll tell you why, because Galatasaray have been a superhuman bunch of perfect mutants all season long. La Liga, Girona third. Okay, pretty simple. Who on earth saw Girona finishing third in La Liga this season? To me, this is very strange behavior from Man City's feeder club. I mean, when Leicester City won the Premier League in 2016, that was supposed to be when they were going to be swallowed up by second season syndrome after being promoted from the championship just 2 years before. Same deal with Girona. They only came up through the playoffs as finishing 6th in the Segunda division in May 2022. They did brilliantly to achieve 10th in the league last season as a newly promoted club. And yes, they may well have had a few cheat codes. Maybe they were served 5-star canteen lunch food that was grilled by Man City's world-class chefs. Yes, they may have had a helping hand, but to finish third the following year. What? Lads, I remember when Wigan Athletic pulled off a minor miracle to finish 10th in the Prem as a newly promoted club in 2005. But nobody expected them to qualify for the Champions League the following year. Instead, they nearly went down. I mean, that's what Spanish punters would have predicted. For this small Spanish village that probably stinks of pigeon with diarrhea. Yeah, this is a club whose chairman is Guardiola's brother. I mean, can you imagine how smug both of these guys must be when having lunch together this summer? They're going to be more nauseating than those awful Paul brothers. Both Guardiolas are in the Champions League next season. Who saw that coming? I mean, their cousins are going to be very jealous when reading the family WhatsApp chat. Girona in third looks weird. Ligue 1, Lyon 6th. Look, I know that I should be breaking Stade Brestois 29, a club who I just know are right now appealing to thousands of hipsters across Europe who want to seem clever. Yeah, Football Daily, I'm looking at you. Honestly, soon enough, there's going to be geeky hipster nerds announcing to everyone how they're a massive fan of Brest. Yeah, try and announce that one on a public bus, buddy, and you'll soon sound very creepy. You'll probably cause at least 4 women to phone the police. Look, they have pulled off a madness too. They finished 14th in Ligue 1 last season, and now again, like Girona, are third. Nobody in the world was bothered about Brest. Yeah, they've now gone and qualified for the Champions League, but I'm sorry, no. The club that looks the weirdest to me when I look at the league table, oh, it's Lyon. For the first half of the season, I was bracing myself for a Lyon relegation. When I was a boy, that club was a Champions League regular, a team who utterly dominated French football, winning the title 7 times on the bounce. I remember when they nearly qualified for the Champions League final. Seeing them relegated to the second tier would be unthinkable. But lads, They began this season horribly, losing virtually every week. They were rock bottom of the league in November. Did Alexander Lacazette really return to Lyon to get relegated? They had already sacked 2 managers by then, bidding off World Cup winners Laurent Blanc in September and then Fabio Grosso in November. In comes 44-year-old interim coach Pierre Sage, someone who's only experienced in football coaching, who was managing children in the Lyon Academy. This is a man whose motivational team talks probably consisted of promising to bring the team to Burger King if they won, a free ice cream and a Monsters Inc. DVD for whoever wins the Golden Boot. How is he supposed to be able to cope with the strains and pressures of a relegation battle amongst a toxic fan base who'd already thrown a rock at their previous coach? I mean, to be fair, Grosso, you did once score a World Cup winning penalty against France. It might have been a bit of that as well. Yeah, turns out Sage turned around the team's fortunes to such a glorious extent that they finished 6th. They had taken 16th. They qualified for the Europa League. Oh yeah, and they reached the cup final where they narrowly lost to PSG. By the way, young Cork defender Jacob Bryan scored in that match. I'm sorry, a scruffy ginger egg from Cork scoring against actual PSG in a cup final? Get him in the Ireland team and get him in now? I'm sorry, but lads, I was preparing myself for a Lyon relegation. So to see them qualify for Europe next year, weird. Bundesliga, Bayern Munich 3rd. Look, I know the obvious answer should probably be Bayern Leverkusen for most of you. And yes, that does look weird to see them being invincible. Of course it does. But to me, I have seen underdogs win the Bundesliga plenty of times before. Borussia Dortmund did it twice in the Jurgen Klopp. Wolfsburg did it in 2009 under Felix Magath. I saw Stuttgart win the league in 2007 and Werder Bremen in 2004. During my childhood, I have seen the Bundesliga title passed around as if it was a Quidditch snitch. A Bundesliga title for everyone in the audience. So seeing Bayern Leverkusen's players lift the title this time, it doesn't look that weird to me. What does look strange is seeing Bayern Munich sitting 3rd in the league. How does a football club win the title 11 seasons on the bounce? And then when they do finally surrender it, they don't just slip to 2nd, they also slip to 3rd. It's weird. I had only seen Bayern Munich finish 3rd in my football supporting lifetime only once back in 2011 when they finished below Dortmund and Leverkusen. That was strange too, but this is unthinkable. Don't forget, Bayern began the season with 10 wins from 11, winning 4-0, 7-0 and 8-0 in the first chunk of games. Harry Kane was an absolute fire. Finishing 3rd was never on the cards, but the post-November collapse, wow. 12 defeats in all comps, being dumped out of the Pokal Cup by a bunch of part-time plumbers from the German mountains. There were also horrible Bundesliga collapses, like conceding 5 at Eintracht Frankfurt, losing 3-2 at both Bochum and Heidenheim, being 2-0 up after 6 minutes on the final day of the season, away to Hoffenheim, and yet still losing 4-2. It's embarrassing and a completely shameful collapse. Where is your pride? And this has all happened on a Champions League winner's watch like Thomas Tuchel? How? How do Bayern Munich score 8 goals in 2 different league matches this season? How does Harry Kane score nearly 40 goals in the league alone and yet still 3rd? Premier League, Man United 8th. Man United just won the FA Cup. Are you happy now?
Oh, stop ignoring the Man United Cup win! Acknowledge it!
They won it. Well done. I mean, it did kick Newcastle out of Europe, but lads, you should still be demanding far more of Manchester United than to be finishing 8th in the league. Nobody saw that coming last summer. Nobody. This was the first time Man United finished behind Newcastle in the Premier League era, right? Yeah, the Magpies still didn't do enough to qualify for any sort of European football. And lads, the Conference League was literally invented for the caveman footballers of Moldova and Kazakhstan so they could have something to do on TV. Newcastle still didn't qualify for Europe. And yet Man United still finished below them. Finishing 7th under David Moyes looked like a rock bottom moment for Man United. Yeah, it's 10 years later, and you're now even lower down in the league table? I mean, if I told you that in 10 years' time, Manchester United will be slipping to 9th, that sounds more depressing than any James Arthur song. Premier League, FC Porto 3rd. Yep. Porto just finished 3rd in the league with just 72 points. That is the first time they finished 3rd since 2016. That's their lowest points total on the board in over 10 years. And yet they still have not picked up the phone to beg Jose to come back. Do you not think that man would rather return to a former club who treat him like a king than just rock up in some Turkish swamp? Honestly, just wait for the Jose video when he gets announced. Serie A, Napoli 10th. Oh, this is just sad. Look, Napoli right now are trying to scramble in Antonio Conte through the door, about to make him the best paid coach in Serie A when they just finished 10th. They are desperate right now because this has been one of the feeblest title defenses in European football history. After losing their title-winning manager Luciano Spalletti to the Italy job a year ago, everyone would have expected a drop-off from their 90-point season a year ago, right? But a drop-off of nearly 40 points Really? This is incredibly embarrassing. In came Rudy Garcia last summer. He was fired by Napoli in November after poor run of results, and in came Walter Mazzari. You know, that ex-Watford coach who used to mumble his way through his interviews on Match of the Day as if his mouth was full of burnt spinach. He was gone by February, and in comes Francesco Calzona, someone who sounds like a dodgy pizza. He's actually the Slovakia manager too. Oh, well done. Asking a man to juggle preparations for Euro 2024 and the intense day-to-day Napoli job. Oh, that's gonna go well. It didn't. The title winners have finished the season with one win from the final 11 league games to finish 10th. To put it in context, last year's peerless champions of Italy have this season won less league games than West Ham. Yikes. This was Napoli's lowest finish since 2009 when they finished 12th. Just dreadful. Eredivisie, Ajax 5th. Oh, Ajax, what has happened to you? Lads, last season, without Erik ten Hag, they finished 3rd in the league with Johnny Heitinga as boss. You remember that ex-Everton and Fulham meatball centre half? Last season was really poor. 3rd in the league is not good enough for a European giant like Ajax. Again, like Napoli, that has been their lowest finish since 2009. When weirdly, they had Luis Suarez in their team. Sorry, how does any Dutch side with a young Luis Suarez up front ever finish 3rd? But this is the season to raise their standards, right? Get back on track. Go and win the league again. Instead, 5th. Ajax are a mess. They went through 4 different caretaker managers and 3 different interim CEOs. That is madness. This is a team who were rock bottom of the league after 10 games, having been slapped up 3-1 by 20, 4-0 by Feyenoord, 2-1 by AZ Alkmaar, 4-3 at Utrecht, 5-2 at PSV. Horrendous. Yes, their form did improve a little bit after that, but still. There were further defeats at Heerenveen and AZ. Oh yeah, and Hercules in the second round of the cup. A Hercules who played in front of 1,000 fans. Sorry, you get more people attending a school rugby match in Limerick. Signing Jordan Henderson in January was strange, and he must be completely regretting that move now. Standing in the middle of Villa Park as his team were savaged 4-0 in the Conference League. Awful. And 2 months later, their team are losing 6-0 to Feyenoord. I'm sorry, what? So you're telling me that Ajax, over 2 games against Feyenoord, have lost by an aggregate score of 10-0? They have finished 5th in the league and have somehow squeaked themselves into the Europa League qualifying rounds, which seems so unfair. This is a club who embarrassingly finished behind PSV, Feyenoord, FC 20 and AZ Alkmaar. And yet they get a Europa League ticket whilst Newcastle, who finished above Manchester United, they don't even get invited to the Conference League. That is mightily unfair. Greek Super League, Olympiacos 3rd. How does a team win the first European trophy in their history and yet still slip to 3rd? Weird, right? Anyway, that's the video. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What was the weirdest one? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.